correct me if I'm wrong. You're still in love with someone you can't unlove. That's why every time you try to move on, it feels like you're cheating.
I'm making myself a cake because I've done 4 days no contact. We are 4 days no contact because he's not replied to my text. A win is a win. She's beautiful. I got a candle for us to blow her. I'd like to thank Joe for ignoring all my messages. Joe, if you want to break no contact, I'm always here. My legs are open, phone's open, heart's open.
All the shitty guys out there, I'm realizing the one I had was a pretty rare find. And now I'm sitting here questioning what the hell I'm doing pushing him away. He knew how to treat me well. He made me feel good about myself. He encouraged me and made me feel like he was really proud of me. He was actually just a really good guy, which I don't think I've ever had before. And maybe that's why I'm pushing him away. Maybe I'm just not used to something so stable and confused it with boredom.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Josten J coming to you with another video. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. All right. Women reveal why they come back after you move on in modern dating. I want men to see through and decode what women are saying, because they're going to say a lot of things when they do come back. And a lot of guys have this hope strategy, or they wish that the woman would actually come back, or should they do this and do that to make her come back and reattract her. But that's not the name of the game. Let's get into it.
You know what I think one of the worst feelings has to be is watching someone that you played glow up. Because imagine if your last interaction with somebody was you completely dogging them out, trying to play them, being mean or causing them harm, whatever the situation is. Like, imagine that's your last interaction with them, and then time goes by and then you see a major glow up, whether they look better or whether they gain fame, become a CEO. That would really bruise my ego. Because imagine knowing that you once had access to somebody and now your access is forever revoked because you decided to play them, because you decided to treat them wrong or cause them harm. That really has to suck. Imagine everywhere you look, now you got to see this person constantly. You can't even block them out.
See, when women come back to you, the biggest reason why is because they haven't found better. But when you actually boss up, and this is what needs to happen in a lot of cases for women to come back. See, we're going to get into other clips, but I want to focus in on this one because a lot of men fight for the right to be average. A lot of men fight for the right to just be looked past and be invisible. Nah. See, when you level up and you boss up, you cannot be ignored. And women are always keeping tabs on you. They're always keeping tabs on you. And I know what you think. I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, I have her blocked. She has no communication with me. Listen, she's watching you. Point blank, period. Now, what are you gonna do? See, a lot of guys get butthurt, or they're in their feelings about, you know, she did this or she did that, and it just isn't right because I put in all this work. That is your own fault. You gave her access. You gave her access to waste your time. Nobody told you to do any of that. And listen, women are always gonna say things like this. I didn't ask you to do all that. So this is a lesson learned, but what are you gonna do now with that feeling in your gut, in the pit of your stomach? You're feeling like you're all heartbroken. What are you going to do about it instead of reattracting her back? What are you going to do about it? Because the guys that say, I'm going to do something about it, those are the guys that they regret just walking all over, walking away from. These are the guys that they regret. This is why I'm always big on these things need to happen to a man. Heartbreak needs to happen to a man. Getting played with needs to happen to a man because he actually understands the game better. You understand? These women are goofballs. There are going to be women that get on your program, but the women that want to stray away, you got to remember at all times, your position in a woman's life is temporary. If she doesn't see a need to benefit off of you, or you're not the guy, you don't continue being the guy, yes, she will go elsewhere. But there's one major thing to learn about this. When they come back around sniffing for clues, is because you bossed up. And ask yourself, if I do boss up, why would I want anything to do with her? Let's get the next one.
I love my ex so much, and it has been so difficult to genuinely walk away. So it's been more than 7 months now, and it's still a very confusing experience for me because I know I'm not meant to be with him and we're not meant to be together, and yet I still miss him. And it's very, very difficult to miss something that you know isn't for you. So it's very much still the grief of like what could have been. And obviously I want to talk to him, and the hardest fucking part is knowing that talking to him, I will actually just hurt both of us. There's nothing productive that comes out of it. And sometimes I just want to like call and be like, hey, because I also lost a fucking best friend, not just a lover. And so it's just been very difficult to feel that grief and sadness, and to know that that wasn't meant for me. Like, a lot of times my logical mind is like, why does it have to be this way? And then I just have to catch myself and be like, how blessed am I to, one, have had that experience, and two, to have loved that deeply. Like, a lot of people say that grief is just love with nowhere to go. The way I see it is like, the beauty in heartbreak is like, I got to share so much with someone, and even though that wasn't the person that was meant for me, they were so special, and like, that is sacred within itself. So like, do not let heartbreak make you bitter, because in that grief and in that sadness, you will find so much love, and you will actually soften through allowing yourself to feel that grief. All that to say, bestie, you are not alone. Like, I just want to talk, you know, I don't want to be fucking mature, and yet here I am having to be fucking mature.
She couldn't find better, and she's trying to fight the urge to reach out to him. She couldn't find better. 7 months later, still down bad. This is proving the point. She can't find better, so she's thinking about this guy. Women know how to hold on to something when they have a situation. So the fact that, you know, the situation isn't going anywhere, you can tell that she let that go thinking that she would do better. And now that she can't, you know, all the love and the good times, and I was loved by blah, 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 blah. And it's obvious that this guy went no contact. I want guys to always understand, when you go no contact, you give them no choice but to respect you. And when you go no contact, they have to sit with themselves. There's no drugs, there's no alcohol, there's no partying, there's no other simps that are willing to do a bunch of stuff. So now they have to reflect and they want to come back to you, but that's nothing good, and it's not your problem. Let's get the next one.
Isn't it crazy that there are actually some men that really do get away from you? Maybe in that moment you weren't ready to receive them. You were still acting crazy. You hadn't worked on your triggers, hadn't worked on your anxieties, your avoidance, met that right person in the wrong time because you weren't ready to receive that person yet. I've thought about this concept often because there's been a couple of times where God has brought me a really good man, but because of my triggers, I just didn't know how to act. I remember this one specific man put me in my place. It was like, I cannot be with you because you are showing me red flags. You flip from hot to cold, and your anxiousness is making me feel like this is not a safe place for me. I was like, I'm sorry, King. He was my lesson. I never acted like that again. I've seen him in a new relationship, loving on that girl properly, living a beautiful, peaceful life. I'm like, dang, it really could have been me. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't I just get it together? Why did I have to be crazy? Those losses, those really sting a little. Like, why? Then you wake up and you're like, everything happens for a reason, I guess. But it's hard when you were that reason.
What do I always tell you? See, I feel like I'm ahead of my time. There's another clip in here where it's just, they're always regurgitating what, you know, men who understand are really putting you on to, right? I tell you guys, when you treat a woman good and you do too much in the beginning, you're thinking that it's going to pay you back. You're going to get a good ROI. But here's what happens. Women stray away or they shy away from it because that's not the norm for them. That's not the pattern. And people, for most of the times, operate in patterns. So if her pattern is guy who doesn't do too much, nonchalant, guy who I have to chase, and then you come along, she's like, ugh, this doesn't feel right. Now you start feeling some type of way about yourself because she's a goofy. You start thinking I'm a goofy, not knowing that she's the goofy. Because you should treat women with respect, like a gentleman, you know, do nice things for them, but the energy needs to be reciprocated. But she's a goofy. She's a goofy, there's nothing wrong with you. So when she comes back, you're thinking, oh, well, things could work. No, things can't work. You need to leave her right where she's at so she could reflect. She even said it. I had access to this a couple of times and you still messed it up. See, as you go on as a man, you're going to be able to do nicer things. You're going to have more resources. You're going to build yourself up. Your character's going to build up. They just keep wasting their own time. So then you think, okay, I got my time wasted. She had to go out of her way to waste her time to waste your time. Think about that. It's a fool's game. Fool's logic. I don't want guys feeling bad about it. And one thing I don't want guys to do is have the door open for these chicks to come back to just waste your time again. We ain't doing that. And another thing, sometimes your position in a woman's life is to help her out on the next go around. You know, you might not be the guy, but now she knows, oh, I can't play this game with every other guy because this guy tried to check her, tried to get her to understand. And now she's thinking about it later on, like, I wish I would have just listened. Let's get the next one.
Guys, a woman will break up with you, literally snap your little heart in half, then come back, say everything that you want to hear then take her back so that she can just break up with you again and really just put the final crack into your heart. Why does she do this? It's because when you guys are not together and there's a period of time where you're not speaking, she fantasizes about all of the good times and forgets about all of the things that did not make her happy and why she thought you were not compatible long term. Okay? So there's a sense of, I need to get back with this guy, and a sense of, I want to see if he'll take me back. How much do I mean to him? What can I say? What can I do? I want to chase for the validation. You take her back. You're hesitant. You take her back though. A month, 2 months later, she leaves you. And then you're really destroyed and you have trauma. And that's just because she cannot articulate that she only took you back to see if the relationship that she was fantasizing about really was what existed when you were together. And when she sees nothing has changed, she leaves. And that is that.
See, once again, and this is another one, you know, I was just talking about this before. I've said this to guys a bunch of times, and you know, I have to keep this fresh on a lot of dudes' brains because, you know, new people are finding the channel every day. But women, when they come back, it's just to play more games with you. It's pretty much a test to see if this guy respects himself. Because if you don't and you accept her back, okay, I'm gonna give him hell. Okay, I'm gonna play more games with him because this sucker doesn't respect himself, and I don't like that. So when guys are thinking it's a good thing when women come back around, I'm telling you to leave them where they stand, because it's not. It's really not. You know, the only time where it's acceptable, if like a woman flakes, she's like, okay, well, I got this round this time, or I'm going to set this up because I was late this day. But women don't come like that. They're not operating like that. So it's in your best interest to just move along. Because when women come back around and they play more games with you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to feel foolish because you know that you knew better. But you're going with, you know, I like her so much. And if I realistically ask you, what are 5 life-changing things that she does to benefit your life? I asked this question to a lot of men and they can't answer it. They just answer one. But it's not really anything of substance. It's just the way she looks. It's the energy. It's the conversation that we have. No. What does she bring that is life-changing, that makes your life better, that makes you feel more alive, like you're a man, like it makes you feel more manly, that helps you on your mission? What does she do? Absolutely nothing. So why are you tripping when she comes back? She contributed nothing. When they come back around, it's just to play more games and to see if you respect yourself. That's what they're really testing for. Does this guy respect himself, or can I just get my way and weasel my way back in here? And this is why they play the games, because once you allow them to weasel their way back in there, they're like, ugh, sucker. Go on and be great. Like the first point I made, I put it at the very beginning because it's very important for you to understand. You must boss up, not to take any one of them back. So they understand that they can't play with just about anybody. They cannot do this. And you should use it. If you got played right now, right? I'm not talking about some chick you just walked up to, she rejected you, some chick that you went on 1 or 2 dates with, she's playing games, acting finicky, flaking. I'm not talking about that. A woman that you put effort, time into for a prolonged period of time, and all of a sudden she's acting wishy-washy, hot and cold, playing games. You get the gist that she wants to go somewhere else. Let her go somewhere else and use this to fuel you. And what you do when she comes back is you let her know that you're on to bigger and better things. You don't have to curse her out. You don't have to be angry about it, but let her know that you're not interested anymore. So this was women reveal why they come back after you move on in modern dating. Hope you guys got a lot out of it. It's your boy Josten J. Get with you boys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The question I often get is it normal for me to miss my ex, even if I was the one who ended the relationship and broke up with them? And the answer is yes, 100,000%. I actually found a journal entry from after I ended my 7-year relationship that I wanted to read to you all in case anyone is going through the same feelings, because it's really normal and you really do have to feel it all. So it's been 6 days since him and I broke up and talked for probably the last time. It comes in waves, although I'm not sleeping much. I'd love to see him, to hug him, to have a routine and the pets back, but I know that would just make all of this harder and hurt him even more. He's such a good person and I wish love was enough. I'm trying to pinpoint where we went wrong. I guess I hope he has a happy life and career and will open himself up to love again one day, as hard as that would be for me. I figured he's probably confused as to where this came from despite our many conversations. I miss him. I miss his smile. I wish I could tell him how sorry I am for all of this. I'm so sorry, and I wish that this wasn't real. I mean, that's even hard for me to read now, and it's been quite some time since the ending of that relationship. But that just goes to show that you can love someone so deeply as a person and they just not be the right person for you. And that's really hard. It's really, really, really hard emotions to sit with. And I wouldn't wish those emotions on anyone. But what I will say is you are never going to regret trusting your deep intuition and trusting those nudges, those quiet nudges that you have had time and time and time again. And I do believe that the universe rewards you when you trust your intuition and trust your gut, which has been true for me. And I will say that after, a lot of time and a lot of healing and a lot of reflection, it does get better. I promise you it does get better. But that doesn't mean it never comes up again. That doesn't mean that you won't continue to grieve whenever you might need to. So it is normal. If you're going through this right now, I'm sending you so much love and strength and anything that you might be needing.